Welcome to this short practice video looking at overwhelm, failure, and inertia. We recommend that you have something to write with for this practice, so you may like to pause this video and go and get something to write with. So let's start just coming into this moment, down regulating a little bit. So I invite you to do a couple of sighs. Feeling your face softening. Letting your weight to drop down into whatever you're sitting on. Now I want to invite you to bring to mind something that you're feeling overwhelmed about. And this could be subtle. It could be that you feel a bit overwhelmed about where your life is going or not going. Or it also could be quite loud. You're overwhelmed because you've got a lot of shit to do in the next couple of days and you don't feel on top of it.
Or try thinking about a subject or something that you tend not to look at in your life. Something perhaps that you might be in some avoidance around. For example, maybe it's been a while since you've looked at your finances. Maybe you are not eating and exercising in the ways that you know has your body be healthy. So is there an area of your life where you've been turning your attention away? And just track that if there's any way where you've been doing that. And just for this practice, bring your attention to that thing and just allow those feelings that have you feel some overwhelm, just allow them to be there for a moment.
Really noticing those feelings, whether they're quiet or loud. See if you can feel them and notice them at the same time.
A way that's helpful to be able to have both of those moves at one time is to bring awareness into your body. Notice where you feel overwhelm. Find where's the loudest spot that you feel it in your body. And then inside, just name what that sensation feels like. Does it have weight, for example? Does it have movement? Does it have a temperature?
You might like to spend a little longer doing this step. If so, you can pause this video. So, overwhelm is often a signal that we need to put attention on something. And a simple way to do that is just to make a list. You can list out to start with aspects of what you're feeling overwhelmed by. Like if you're feeling out of control in the next few days, write down all the things that are having your attention over the next few days.
You might do that by, you could start with the sentence of, I feel overwhelmed that, I feel overwhelmed about, I feel overwhelmed that, or I feel fear that, I feel fear about, I feel fear that, and just kind of allow a stream of consciousness to come where you're not editing whatever's there, but as you put your attention on the thing and you allow yourself to kind of stream through your pen what the concern is, just allow it to come out in like a list, one sentence after the other. And I find that if you start the sentence in the same way, it kind of helps to get the juices flowing, to kind of empty out what's getting built up and built up and built up.
Let's take a little bit longer.
You may want to pause this video. It can be good to do this practice for 3-4 minutes.
So when you're ready, you might like to take some of the things that you've listed and maybe take some actions that you'd like to list out. Is there something that really urgently needs your attention that you've realized? Or maybe there's just some things that you need to do the next few days, or maybe just schedule some more time to look at.
So this is like if you imagine a small child coming to you with fear, and then as a securely attached adult, you sit with this child and you help it to think through what feels really big. So the problem feels so much bigger, and we're helping through sense making, practically taking a rational lens. We help to make that problem feel smaller by breaking it down into steps, checking if that's actually true. Is there really an emergency? And if this thing does need to be prioritized, how soon does it need to be prioritized? Does this need more thinking time? So be thinking about what are the actionable steps that I need to take, and is it real, this thing that I've written down? Take some time now to go through your list and ask those questions and make some notes.
What we're looking for here is reaching some sense of clarity. And that doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. It might just be like, hey, I'm acknowledging that there's all of this territory I need to put more attention on, and let me prioritize actually putting attention on that thing at some point. And even just that will help alleviate some of the psychic tension that creates the overwhelm, such that you can relax more into this moment and be clearer. So you might like to pause the video again if you need more time. So we're now going to put attention on where you're failing. So you might like to ask yourself, where haven't I been living true to myself, true to what's important to me? Where are some of my behaviors not as healthy and constructive as I'd like them? As you create this list, just notice how you feel writing it. There's normally a sense of sobering. I want to be better here. Some healthy guilt.
If the voices are loud, let's say you have voices of inner criticism, strong desire to avoid, overwhelming sense of tiredness, pause the video and just you might want to write on your page what this loud experience is, and kind of just do it in a circle, and you can come back to that. We have parts work guided videos that are inside this YouTube channel. If you're not on YouTube, go to Triibe.Earth, and there's parts work practices that you can do with those parts.
What's important is to be loving with yourself here. It's okay to be imperfect. We actually want the gold that looking at our failures gives us. You might like to pause now if you need more time with this list and these feelings. Now, looking at this list, are there places that you would like to make some amends or some stronger admissions to yourself?
So omissions might look like, I choose to not do this. I've been choosing not to do this thing because it's worked for me in this way. Or I've avoided doing this thing because it's helped me not to feel da-da-da. So in the admissions process, we admit to ourselves the ways in which it has been working for us so that we're no longer in delusion or lured into those patterns of, let's say, blind spots that remain blind spots. It's illuminating the places where we're imperfect so that we can feel free. So take some time to do that now. It's like a taking responsibility process.
If you need more time, pause the video.
And then last question you might want to ask on that process there is, has there been anybody else who's been impacted by the choices that I've made? What might the impact have been? And are there some amends that I want to make? This is part of the getting free process. Might feel, oh no, I don't want to look at that, but actually to start fresh, to have a new iteration of living aligned, we want to clean up what happened back there.
If you'd like to take more time thinking through amends you'd like to make, you can pause the video now. And lastly, let's look at where you might feel some inertia in your life. So take some time to list out any places where you've wanted to take action but you haven't been. There's projects that you might have wanted to start, or relationships, to talk about things that you haven't wanted to talk about.
Or like a repetitive thought that's been rolling over, a repetitive sort of flash of a vision, of insight, of something that would be right for you to do or start or move towards, that you've turned away from, that you haven't listened to, that you've been distracted and not followed that whisper.
So take the time that you need now to complete this list. And we'd like you to choose one thing on that list that you could take an action on right now. And it could just be a very short action, 2 to 5 minutes, or longer if you like. But think of something that you've been avoiding doing. Is there some little simple action that would be significant towards that thing that you can take right now?
Little and simple is key. Have it be easy for you to achieve so that you can add something after that and you feel like you've already done the first step.
You might like to do a Pomodoro and set a 25-minute timer and do nothing but that thing for 25 minutes.
Watch yourself get into flow state after 10 minutes and be sure to pause your timer, take a 5-minute break after the 25 minutes and come back again. If you feel up for it, chances are you will, and you'll have a yearning, and set another 25-minute timer.
Okay, are you ready? Go do it. Go do this thing now. You'll feel so good for it. Thank you.